Real Madrid is eyeing a new signing to strengthen its defense for the upcoming season. According to information from the Spanish newspaper Marca, the Merengues are interested in William Saliba, Arsenal FC centre-back, who has been standing out in the Premier League. Saliba, who arrived at Arsenal in 2019, quickly became a key player in the team's defense. His tackling ability, game reading, and capacity to play the ball well have made him one of the most sought-after defenders in Europe. In recent months, the young French defender has been one of Arsenal's standout names, helping the club maintain a solid defense in the national competition. His impressive performances have caught the attention of elite clubs, with Real Madrid being one of the interested parties. The Real Madrid board sees Saliba as an opportunity to strengthen their defensive line and build a competitive team for the next season. The departure of veteran players may open up space for new talents, and Saliba fits this profile perfectly. In addition to his technical quality, Saliba also stands out for his imposing physique, making him a difficult defender to overcome for opposing attackers. This is something that manager Carlo Ancelotti appreciates in a centre-back. Arsenal, for its part, is aware of Real Madrid's interest and has already begun preparing a response. The London club has valued Saliba and knows that his departure would be a significant loss, both in terms of performance and future potential. Mikel Arteta's team is focused on keeping its best players to continue competing at a high level. Arsenal has plans to renew Saliba's contract, which could extend his stay at the club. However, financial pressure and the allure of playing for one of the world's biggest clubs may influence Saliba's decision. The possibility of wearing the Real Madrid jersey is something that could attract any player. Meanwhile, Arsenal fans are concerned about the potential loss of one of their best talents. Saliba has become an idol for many, and his departure would be a severe blow to the club's aspirations for the upcoming season. In the meantime, Real Madrid continues its search for new reinforcements. The team is already evaluating other options in the market, but Saliba is undoubtedly a top priority. The summer transfer window promises to be busy, and Saliba's future could be decided in the coming weeks. Fans of both clubs will be closely monitoring this situation. The final decision will rest with the player, who will need to weigh the pros and cons of a potential transfer. Arsenal will do everything possible to convince Saliba to stay in London. For now, everything remains in the realm of speculation. Time will tell whether William Saliba will remain at Arsenal or become a new Galactico at Real Madrid next season. Regardless of what happens, Arsenal fans hope their centre-back continues to shine and helps the club achieve titles in the coming years. Football history is full of twists and turns, and this could be yet another one. The possible signing of William Saliba by Real Madrid has sparked a series of discussions among fans and football experts. Here are some important points to consider about this situation. Saliba's performance. Since arriving at Arsenal, Saliba has consistently delivered impressive performances. He has stood out not only for his defensive skills but also for his ability to initiate offensive plays from the back, making him a modern and versatile centre-back. Real's interest. Real Madrid, traditionally one of the strongest clubs in Europe, is always on the lookout for talents that can add value to the squad. The club's admiration for Saliba reflects his quality and potential, especially at a time when the team seeks to rejuvenate its defense. Contract situation. Saliba is still under contract with Arsenal, which means any transfer attempt would require negotiation. Arsenal may look to increase his release clause to discourage Real Madrid and other interested clubs. Impact on Arsenal. Losing Saliba would be a significant blow for Arsenal. He has become one of the cornerstones of their defense and an emerging leader in the team. The club would need to consider its options to replace a player of his caliber, which is no easy task. Saliba's ambitions. For a young player like Saliba, the opportunity to play for Real Madrid can be tempting. The club is known for its history of success and for competing at a high level in the UEFA Champions League, something that could influence his decision. Fan reactions. The prospect of losing Saliba has generated a wave of discontent among Arsenal fans, who see him as a key piece for the team's future. The feeling that he could join such a powerful rival also causes concern. Rivalry between clubs. Real Madrid and Arsenal have distinct histories, but both have their respective legions of supporters. The transfer of a significant player between the clubs could further heighten the rivalry, especially if Saliba becomes a success at the Santiago Bernabéu. Alternatives for Real Madrid. While Saliba is a priority, Real Madrid is also evaluating other defensive options. The transfer market is dynamic, and the team may look for alternatives if negotiations do not progress. Media coverage. Sports media is closely monitoring the situation, with daily speculation about Saliba's future. With each new update, more rumors and analyses emerge regarding how this transfer could impact both teams. Next steps. The coming weeks are crucial as the transfer window approaches. Both Arsenal and Real Madrid will be preparing for the new season, and Saliba's decision could become one of the most debated topics during this period. In summary, the possible signing of William Saliba by Real Madrid is a matter that involves various factors, from the player's performance to the strategies of the clubs involved. The situation will continue to evolve and will be closely followed by all football enthusiasts. Ambition to maintain a competitive team and fight for titles in the coming seasons. The final decision will depend on several factors, including the players' Arsenal ambitions and Real Madrid's willingness to meet the imposed financial requirements. As speculation continues, fans look forward to developments. Saliba's possible departure would represent a significant loss to Arsenal but would also show the international recognition of his talent. On the other hand, his permanence would reinforce the club's commitment to keep his main players and seek future achievements regardless of the outcome. William CBA's situation in Arsenal will be one of the main topics of discussion in the next transfer window, reflecting the complex dynamics of modern football and the constant search for excellence clubs in their teams. William CBA's situation in Arsenal is taking gigantic proportions, and the truth is that it can be a bomb about to explode. The fans need to open their eyes because what is happening behind the scenes is no joke. Real Madrid are not just interested, they are obsessed. The Spanish club knows it has a gap in defense and sees Saliba as the perfect guy to fill this space, but the question no one wants to ask is Arsenal ready to hold this financial pressure? Because if not, the nightmare of losing one of the best quarterbacks in the world can come true before what we imagine. What is happening now can completely change the future of Arsenal. If CBA is away, it's not just a player who leaves. It's an entire defense pillar that collapses. We are talking about a player who has revolutionized the team's defensive system, someone who without him the team could never play at the same level. Just remember last season when an injury of him made the Arsenal lose strength, and in the end the title. Do you want to relive this nightmare? Want to see another year going through the drain because the board decided to give in to the pressure and accept a big check? Because this can happen if the Gunners do not take an attitude now. What's more, this story that no one is bigger than the club may even be true, but the departure of a player from that level has a brutal impact. Arsenal spent years building this team, investing in the Arta project, creating an identity, and now comes Real Madrid trying to pull one of the pillars of the castle. What does this say about the future? What does this mean to players like Saka, Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus? They will look at this situation and ask themselves, if the club could not hold Saliba, will they hold us? And this is the doubt that can put the whole project at risk. Here is something no one is talking about, but you need to know: sale of Saliba may just be the beginning of a devastating domino effect. Today is Saliba, tomorrow can be Saka, then Odegaard, then Martinelli. Do you really think these guys will want to be? If you realize that the club has no ambition to hold your best players, we are facing a decision that can define Arsenal's future for many years. Either we show that we are a giant club that fights for titles and holds your stars, or we become a team that only forms talent for others to take. And if you think Real Madrid is kidding, think again. They do not make act for nothing. When they decided they wanted Mbappe, they went with everything and almost took him out of PSG. When they saw that Bellingham was a rare jewel, they paid what was needed and secured English before any other club. The same goes for Kevin Chouameni. Now they have decided that Saliba is the target, and that means they won't give up easily. They have money, influence, and a seductive project. This is what we are facing. Arsenal needs to position itself firmly if Real Madrid wants CBA, who pay an absurd amount, something that breaks all records and makes sense to the club structure. We are talking about at least 100 million, and yet the main question is not just money, it's mindset. Do we want to be a team that sells their talents, or do we want to be the team that imposes respect and keeps their best players? This is the question that the board of Arsenal needs to answer. And before someone thinks, but Saliba might want to leave, you have to remember what he said before. He wants to win titles. This is the central question. If he feels Arsenal is ready to win trophies, he will stay. But if you realize that the board is more concerned with doing business than winning championships, it can, yes, consider a way out. And this leads us to another important point: contractual renewal. If the Arsenal is not careful, in a little while CBA enters the last years of contract, and then the situation may become even more complicated. Time is running, and if nothing is done, we can see a disaster happening before our eyes. Real Madrid do not make this kind of onslaught for nothing. When they put a player on the radar, it is because they believe they can get it, and the story shows that when they want, they usually do. Now it is up to Arsenal to show that it is no longer a talent-forming club for the giants of Europe, but a giant on its own. Don't wait. Send to 3 WhatsApp contacts that cheer for Arsenal as well. And right, I'm going to raise today. God will open the right doors for you for sharing our work and helping us. And if you're not worried yet, you may need to remember what happened the last time Arsenal lost one of its best players to a European giant. Remember When Fabregas left for Barcelona and when Van Persie went to Manchester United, the team collapsed after these exits because it was not just talent, it was the message that was passed to the cast. If the Arsenal is not firm now, the story can be repeated. The good news is that there is still time to avoid this catastrophe. Saliba is still here, and if Arsenal acts fast, it can guarantee its permanence for many years, but this will only happen if the club shows that it has ambition, that it wants to win titles, which is not just in the market to develop talent for others. If the board hesitates, Real Madrid will act, and then it may be too late. What do you think? Should Arsenal hold Saliba at any cost or sell for a monstrous offer? Leave your comment and share this news with other fans. Thanks for watching here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to continue receiving the next content. Now go to our playlist that will appear on the screen or in the comments set with all the last-minute news from Arsenal and stay on top of backstage highlights, last-minute controversies, transfers, all about the team, the Gunners. Until the next video.
Right, let's just go back finally to that League Cup semi-final second leg. Newcastle United beating Arsenal 2-0 on the night. And Mercers, you look at your old side, they're out of the FA Cup in the third round against Manchester United on penalties, now out of the League Cup as well. Still in the Champions League, hanging on to Liverpool's coattails in terms of the Premier League. The next few weeks for Mikel Arteta, in terms of this long-term project at Arsenal, they're massive, aren't they? Because at the moment, they're heading towards another trophyless season.
Yeah, there is. I mean, they've got 2-1 they could be out of by Wednesday night, in my opinion. I think if Liverpool go and win at Everton, I think that'll be 9 points clear with, 15-odd games left. They'd have to lose 4 of them. Do you know what I mean? Which I find would be impossible. So, for me, it comes down to Wednesday. I did half fancy them in the Champions League, but I've just seen them get destroyed by Newcastle over 2 legs. And there's a lot better teams, no disrespect to Newcastle, There's a lot better teams than Newcastle in this Champions League knockout phase. So, for me, they're right up against it. It all depends how many points they get beat by in the end if they don't win the league. I think, if he comes second again, he's going to stay. I mean, I hope people don't think, let's change the manager. But, you've got to be there. You had to be there ready to pounce when Man City did drop off. And he didn't, and Liverpool have. So it'll be interesting. I would have bought. Well, I keep on saying Isaac. I mean, there's not a lot around. I'll go Harry Kane. I'll pay the £60-odd million for Harry Kane.
Would you?
100%. I know it's not my money, but
if Harry Kane would have gone to Arsenal.
No, like Sol Campbell didn't.
Yeah, but different. 100%.
Oh, I was different.
Yeah, 100%. Harry Kane would not have gone to Arsenal.
Definitive. From Dawes. Absolutely. You know that for sure?
Well, in my opinion, I don't think Harry Kane would have gone to Arsenal.
No, not now. He's got that clause, hasn't he?
I still don't think he would ever go to Arsenal. Maybe wrong. Tim knows him a lot better than me.
If he wins the league, which he should win the league with Bayern Munich now, but when he does that... Oh, wow. When he does that, I think that's it. Come back. Don't come... Unless he comes... If he thinks he can come back and beat Shearer's record at Tottenham, I don't see the point in coming back to Tottenham. I mean, there's no point in coming back to Tottenham just to have a chance of beating that. And I don't think he'll have as much chance of beating that at Tottenham and what he will at Arsenal.
Dawes thinks it'll never happen. Could you see it happening, Tim?
I couldn't see it happen. No, but I agree with Merce. I think wherever he comes back to a club where he thinks he can win something in the English league. I mean, they've moved, and which means scoring a lot of goals, which he would do at Tottenham under Postecoglou. To be fair, I mean, they play all-out attack. I mean, Harry Kane will score a lot of goals. Tottenham score a lot of goals, but they also concede a lot. So he'll want to win trophies. Looks like he's going to win a domestic cup league in Bayern. They won 3-0 last night. He scored another brace. Yeah. I mean, he's prolific, the kid. I mean, he's
8 seasons on the trot, isn't it? I think.
He won't let up. He will keep going. Yeah. And look, he's not finished there yet. So we're talking about. But if he does decide to come back to the Premier League, there'll be plenty of takers for him. But he'll come back to a team who he thinks can win.
And in terms of the Arsenal squad now, Dawes, I mean, we obviously know already about the injuries to the likes of Saka and Jesus as well, but now Martinelli is going to be out for over a month as well as we enter this final third of the season in terms of the Premier League when the title race picks up again next weekend, the Champions League knockout stages begin. I mean, in terms of what they've got at the moment, the thinness of this squad is being laid bare at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And we've talked about Saka in that right-hand position for so many years, and he's been playing every minute. And then, obviously, Martinelli getting injured now, and you think, wow, Raheem Sterling being in there, not played as much football as what I thought he would. Will he get a chance? Waneri, young player, he's going to have game time. But they've got games coming thick and fast. So that gives you more chance of getting injuries. So in that area, Jesus being out as well. So, I mean, Merce touched on it there about getting Isak. Everyone wants an Isak. Everyone in the country probably buy Manchester City.
There won't be anybody who can
no, that's a problem.
I think
in
Arsenal
January,
are the only team that could get him.
Yeah.
And anywhere around the world, I don't think, owning Arsenal would get him. That would be my opinion. They won't go to Man City because of Haaland.
Yeah.
I mean, Man United couldn't even get Tell because it was a £10 million loan.
They wouldn't be able to afford him, would they?
Exactly, they wouldn't be able to afford him. I mean, then who is there? Chelsea, maybe Chelsea, but I don't know how their fair play rules will be going on then. But bar that,
they are light
go around the world.
But for Arsenal to have a good season, they need their best players back.
Yeah.
Martinelli are going to lose. They need Saka back as quickly as possible because he makes a difference. Waneri, for me, is a little superstar in the making.
Yeah.
And he can contribute now, and I'm sure he's going to get more game time with Martinelli missing. But they need the two centre-halves. Saliba needs to buck his ideas up and get back to the solidity what we've seen with Gabriel. And they need everyone back. If they're going to fit, don't write off this season. I mean, Mercer's absolutely right. They win their game in hand on Wednesday night. Liverpool. It's going to be difficult to catch them. But Champions League, Arsenal, on their day, can beat anyone.